When you speak to a larger audience, it's most efficable to segment the presentation into smaller modules so you can maximize the diffusion and efficiency of your message. Does that make sense? Actually, no, it doesn't. I actually had to write this down in my notebook. I don't know what that means. But you were about to say yes, weren't you? It's natural to say yes when somebody asks, do you understand that? Or does that make sense? God forbid you say, no, it doesn't. What don't you understand? Which is a great way to build rapport with your audience, isn't it? Well, in this video, you're going to see a way to ask a question so that your audience's answer will tell you if they understand or not. In teaching English as a second language, or teaching any second language, we use what's called a concept check question, CCQ. You're going to see 4 different types in this video. And as you stick with Fit Presenter, be it the YouTube channel, the Facebook page, or of course the website, www.fit-presenter.com, that's www.fitpresenter.com, you'll see a lot of questions and answers. Because questions and answers turn your pontification into a dialogue. And that's what you want with your audience, is a dialogue. And the same thing goes whether it's more of a motivational talk or if it's a technical speak, it's the same thing. You want to engage and interact with your audience. So questions and answers make the difference. And a concept check question makes the difference whether or not they understand what you're talking about. I'm going to slide over so you can see the captions. There are 4 kinds of concept check questions. The yes or no, the 50-50, the open-ended, and the complete sentence. I'll give you an example of each. What if you're presenting pizza and you don't know if your audience knows what pizza is? So you draw a picture and you draw a circle with the lines and the pizza. Oh, pizza, yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Not yet. We need to ask a concept check question. The first is a yes or no. Do you like pizza? Yes. That's a pretty weak concept check question, but if you're speaking to very low-level speakers, low-level learners, and basic 1, basic 2, you can get away with, do you like pizza? Yes, I love pizza. You can see in their face they understand. Okay. The next is a 50-50. This is probably the most common that I use. Pizza. Do we have pizza for breakfast or lunch? Lunch. Okay. You give them just a little bit. Next comes open-ended question. What's your favorite place to have pizza? What's your favorite pizzeria? They give you a good answer. Okay, now I know what pizza is. And the last one is open-ended. Tell me something about pizza. In fitness-related topic, let's say you want to describe the 3 planes of motion. You have the sagittal, frontal, and transverse. So you have your sagittal, which moves front to back. It's my favorite trick question in all of fitness. The frontal, which does not move front to back, and the transverse plane. I love spinning around in this chair. Okay, you show it to them and say, does that make sense? Yes. Okay, now it's a yes or no question. Okay, is this the sagittal plane? And if they say, no, it isn't. Well, they demonstrated conceptual understanding. Then you can go 50-50, or maybe a 1 and 3 in this case, right? Okay, is this sagittal or frontal? Well, you might trick them by saying frontal. Gotcha, it's sagittal. So, is this sagittal or frontal? Or you can give all 3. Is this sagittal, frontal, or transverse? Well, now you know, if they give you the right answer. And you can say, okay, give me an open-ended, give me 1 exercise in the frontal plane. Side lunge, jumping jack, an upright row, a pull-up, but not a chin-up, which is the sagittal plane. Frontal plane, sagittal plane. For all you keeping score at home, that is the difference between a pull-up and a chin-up, is the plane of motion. And the last one is an open-ended question. Okay, what are the 3 planes? And give me an exercise for each. There's your open-ended. You already know the material that is going to confuse them the most. Be ready with some concept questions. It's like a slingshot. The more the resistance, the further they go. The more confused they are in the beginning and then they understand it, the more they're going to believe in you. The more they're going to realize, hey, I just learned something in this talk. And I hope you learned something in this talk, because when you learn, you teach. And when you teach, you learn. And when you teach and learn, you're ready to move on. Does that make sense? Of course it does.